USS Unsinkable. Also known as the biggest disaster in history. And another nickname for it, USS Titanic. Almost 99% of the population in the world knows about the biggest disaster, Titanic. Titanic was also known as the Unsinkable, USS Unsinkable. That was the code name for it. Okay, so first we're going to talk about before it became the whole ship, before people would get on it. Okay, so first off, when it was made and launched into the water from the port, it about tipped over, which was a big problem. And whenever it was on the seas going to the different port to pick up people, it had a fire in the bridge. They put it out, but guess what? Boy, were they wrong. They didn't fix up the damage, but it may have not actually sunk if they fixed up the damage. Wait, the fire was actually in the engine room. If they fixed up the damage, it wouldn't sink. Also, once it went to the port, they were still fixing it and doing all that jazz, but they didn't want to fix up the fire problem. Well, looks like, boy, were they wrong. Yeah, so we are now putting our channel to a different reason. It's for facts and history now. Okay, so Titanic. It sunk by hitting an iceberg. Here's another thing that may not have made it sunk. Sulfur. Sulfur, if it reaches... Oops, one sec. Sulfur, if it reaches water, it will tighten up things. So it was also used to be put in the metal because it was in water, so it was Loctite. But they put too much sulfur in the metal, so it made it weak. So when it hit the iceberg, yep, it did crash, made a leak, it sunk, all that. That's how it sunk. So if someone is related to the builders of the Titanic, when you go to heaven, tell them that they were dumb and they shouldn't have put too much sulfur in the metal. They made the biggest disaster in the history. Yep, it was also known as the biggest ship in 1970s. But now we also have bigger ships, mostly because it sunk, and it's also a very big treasure to divers. So they put too much sulfur. So here's another way that they could have let so many other people survive. If they put too much boat. If they put a little bit more boats, but it was illegal to put more. Because, it was really determined how many boats there were on. It was determined by the weight of the boat. Well, they were wrong. Maybe you should be determining it by the people that are coming on the boat. Because each boat can only hold 20 to 50 people on it. Yep. But it was unsinkable, they said. So no one listened. They didn't want to go on the boat. So some boats weren't even completely filled. That was a whole nother problem because there were about 2,588 people on there. Yep, but there were only so many boats that it could only fit 1,858 people. So if they still put the whole boat full, all the lifeboats filled, wouldn't fit all the people from it. That's why now these days there's a lot of extra boats than they even need now these days on cruise. In fact, tomorrow's my birthday. On March 19th, I'm going on a cruise. So, RMS Titanic, one of the best diver spots, and it sunk in the Atlantic Ocean. Yep. It sunk from an iceberg. They wanted to go to the nearest port once they hit it, because it already hit 4. There were 18 apartments in there, compartments, with lock-tight doors, watertight. If 4 or more were filled, it would completely sink. But guess what? It was 4 compartments. So they stopped because if you were in a boat that was sinking, if you went full speed to get to the nearest dock, you would get more water into the boat. You put more water into the boat because of all of that pressure on the water. It would just start coming in. So yeah, they had no choice but to stay still and shoot out all of their flares. The closest cruise ship that could fit all of those people were 10 kilometers away, which would take them about 10 hours to get there, really. But it would only take 2 hours for the ship to completely sink. In the morning, after it sunk, the nearest ship read all of the signals, distress signals, onto Morse code. Morse code, they didn't have walkie-talkies, anything back then, so they used Morse code. It's a thing that sends signals all around to different ships. It's one button that you just keep beeping very fast and stop, beep, beep, beep. Yeah, so they did an SOS call. SOS means is a distress signal, like you're sinking. Please help, our ship is sinking. That's basically what it meant. So they were sending out millions of those like crazy. Because there were almost about 1,888 people died right there. Yeah. Because most people didn't want to leave their families. Women and children were first because it couldn't fit the whole entire amount of people from the ship there. So women and children were first. Most women and children didn't want to leave their families, so they wanted to stay on the boat. Other families just were crowding around them. Yeah. So a lot of women and children died. But the main characters on Titanic were third-class people. Jack and someone else. Jack was the boy, and there was a girl. They were in love, and they were people that went to the back of the ship and stayed there. Yeah. So the power didn't go out because of it flooded. It didn't go out because of that. If you actually read the full movie, it was a complete lie about the power situation. That person who got shocked didn't go out. It didn't blow out all the power. But it did shock him to death and kill him. It actually almost blew up his heart. It may have actually blew up his heart to smithereens. Yep. So, I mean, that's like a kajillion volts right there. Megawatts right there that he just died from. That can power 50 of our houses. 50 of my house. Yeah, pretty crazy. But that wasn't the problem. It was actually the water problem, which means the whole thing kind of was a lie about the power situation. Because the first outlet it would touch the water, if it touched one outlet, all of it would be dead. Couldn't do any SOS signals or anything else. So, people at the third class, they had no chance, really, unless they were carrying a flashlight, lantern, or anything. Because the pressure, it's physics. It's the physics law. Because if it's like a car that just crashed into water, okay? It can't float or anything. But it's a boat that crashed into an iceberg. Water on the outside of the boat will be higher than the water on the inside of the boat. So yeah, water would reach the window on the outside first before it reached on the inside. It's actually physics with the buoyancy. Because it also carries weight with the metal that's pulling it down, and water doesn't have enough time to fill up the inside to make it completely level with the outside. So yeah. But there was a lot of pressure on everything right there, because at the end of the movie, when it split, there was a lot of pressure on the inside of it. Like, doors were about to blow off their hinges. Because it was completely, like, going that way. It started off this way. So there was a lot of pressure just trapped in there because they had to close all the doors. They wanted it to stay up as much as possible. So when it started sinking, that was like 10 semi-trucks on that door, on that one door. And at the end of the movie, you can see that all of the doors just blow off the hinges on the back side of the ship. Yeah. Well, yeah. It blew up. Well, boy were they wrong, I guess. So, the first time the water would reach an outlet, it automatically went out. Completely done for. Can't be affected by the skin, really, but water, yeah, it will block the transmit and will cause an electrical shock to all the wires, melt it all. The camera thing, jeez. So, yeah, that's actually the truth. So, it actually would have gone out. It would have no choice. All of that would have had way too much pressure. We just talked about it, basically. So, everyone, we have turned our channel to a history channel. That's all I got about the Titanic. Next time I'm going to be talking about the cousin Titanic. You're going to find out what happened to it.